Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here is her story. I'd like to stay anonymous, please, but I fully named who hurt me and my sons, and you are welcome to fully share their names. Dear Ollie, thank you for sharing your platform with those of us who wish to expose these people, patterns, and the effects they have on others. My story may not be one that needs a lot of advice, but I expect it to be very therapeutic to hear your voice read the story out loud. I was the oldest of 5 kids. Mom was excited about me while pregnant, but the realities of caring for an infant and giving up her career to care for me made her violently angry. She couldn't effectively address this circumstance with my father, so she had 4 more kids she didn't want to have. Right. Some women, and I've talked about this, fairly frequently on the channel, are just addicted to being pregnant. They just like being pregnant. They like the attention they get. They like the special perks in it. Once they have the kid, they want nothing to do with it. They want nothing to do with it, so they keep having child after child after child after child. And they do nothing to raise the children they have because they're constantly pregnant. And then these women, they get angry about the career that they walked away from. They'll blame you for every little thing that's out of place in their life. It's all your fault because they can't face their own need for supply that they get through pregnancy. The fury of a woman tainted by those earlier feminism waves came crashing down very squarely on me. Neglect was tolerable and frankly preferable. When I was around 12, Dad offered my brother and I a sip of beer during a family sledding night. Mom pulled me aside with my beer bottle and told me to drink more of it, then pulled a large bottle of full clear liquid from under the counter. I looked at it with surprise. I didn't know that was in there. Mom was smiling as she poured the clear liquid into my beer bottle to fill it up. "Don't tell Dad," she said, still smiling, biggest smile I'd ever seen on her. It was so scary to me because she didn't really smile. I only remember her requesting me to return to her a couple more times for refills. The last thing I remember was falling on the icy steps outside and laughing uncontrollably before falling to the side in a non-moving sled about a mile from home. When I woke, I was covered in vomit. It was late at night, and it was very quiet. Dad was the only one there, and he turned toward me rapidly when I stirred. After seeing I was mostly coherent, he said, "That's why you should never drink alcohol around others." So what your mother did was get you drunk. So your father gave you a beer at 12. Is it the best thing to do? No. Was it all that out of the ordinary for the time? Not really. But what your mother did was gave you vodka, got you raging drunk, told you not to tell Dad, and then probably blamed him for it all. I became a daughter wife to my father, the angel on earth he couldn't find in any other woman. My brother was born next, the absolute delight of my father's existence. I don't resent that much. It taught me how to respect men. Brother passed a long time ago in a gun accident. The next 3 babies were all girls. What? Wait, what? In a gun accident? Okay, as an adult or a child? The next 3 because if you want to talk neglect, shit, man. The next 3 babies were all girls. My parents fought a lot in the years the youngest was born, and I'd step up and stop my father from abusing the baby that oddly I helped name. We were all together in the car one night, and I remember piping up in an abnormally quiet car. "Hey, Maybe we should name the baby Sherry if it's a girl. The song Sherry Baby had been playing on the radio. Oh, I hate that song. Oh, that song. That Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons high-pitched doo-wop garbage. Ugh, that music, that Cousin Brucey bullshit doesn't epitomize my father. Ugh. I hated that. I hated it. The song Sherry Baby. No offense. I mean, I know you named your sister after it, but damn, I hated that song. The song Sherry Baby had been playing on the radio. From the icy front of the car, my father gently said, "But all the kids will call her Cherry." I piped up, not if it's spelled with an S. She was named Cheryl at birth, Sheryl. Later, Dad asked if I'd seen anything through the years. He said he suspected Cheryl wasn't his. My shock turned to panic to help make such a thought go away. I jumped right back saying that she is, and suggested that he go back to my old pictures and compare them to hers from the same age. He did, and he accepted her as his daughter because of me. I very sorely regret doing that and stopped my father. I very sorely regret doing that and stopped my father from pulling her hair, messing with her breathing, and calling her names. So you regret getting your father to accept the daughter was your sister was his, because I guess it wasn't. I sorely regret doing that and stopping my father from pulling her hair, messing with her breathing, and calling her names. So you wish you didn't stop your father from doing that? My father didn't have a conversation with me about the other two sisters. I found weird pictures of his later of me and my sister's facial features and other attributes. Things like images of just noses. When I was scanning all my paper photos, I came across one with kids 1 through 4 all together on the couch. My brother and I looked like twins. We looked just like Dad. The other two girls did not look like us at all. Dad was taking images in a cycle of asking himself over and over again if these girls were his. Well, if your mother is the type that's addicted to pregnancy and neglectful, that means she needs constant supply and attention. So, and if she's evil enough to get you drunk and make your father think he did it and mess with him on that level, then it's sure as hell possible that your mother could have been stepping out on him. So we'll see where this story goes. When I was a young adult, the middle sister asked me on the phone if Dad ever did anything to me, like touch me. I was repulsed but gently said no. She said that he had done things to her and the fourth child, and I truly thought she was just looking for attention. No way my dad could have done that. The absolute worst part was for me was hearing my sister's voice and felt validated by what that she felt validated by what he did. Wait, the absolute worst part for me was hearing in my sister's voice that she felt validated by what he did. I hope he does not listen. So it's one or two things here. It's either your mother was stepping out on him, or your father was hoping that the two he may have been abusing weren't his, because he didn't want to be abusing his own flesh and blood. Oh no. Let's see. She considered it a win that Dad touched them and not me. Oh my God. And frankly, it was one of the sickest things I ever listened to. Oh, so this is why he wanted to. Oh my God. The conversation closed, But obviously I was creeped out. I decided just to look at my dad to see if I could pick up on anything. I remembered it clearly. We were at a motorcycle rally near Denver. I turned my head slightly to the left and my eyes were resting on his lower pant leg. My consciousness shifted to simple open curiosity, but Dad picked up on it immediately and scared me into silence. I was so horrified but could do nothing. He didn't want to go to prison, so he gave huge gifts to the schleps that married each of these women, and even worse, allowed them to torture me. Picture it, little girls running up so excited to see Daddy at the end of the day, and Daddy giving them the stink eye, wondering if they were his. Those little girls couldn't be mad at Dad, but they sure could torture the daughter that actually received Dad's attention, me. Not only was I excluded after dutifully taking care of them as Dad told me to, but they amplified their hate of me with Mom. Their weddings were horrible nightmares that unraveled when family members of other families started supporting me. When Dad died, those monsters stole from my sons and I. Mom let her boyfriend rob my summer earnings when I was 15, telling me he must have had a good reason for taking the money. She also had us kids forge signatures on bank withdrawal slips so she could have access to the money in the account set up with only the kids' names and Dad's name on them. She cleaned all of us out. I asked Dad when he was going to reimburse us because Mom said he would. Dad admitted it was a test to see if she would rob us and gave my money back secretly. Their names are Mom Carolyn Hansen Stollenstall, Dad Eric Carl Hansen, middle sister Laura Lynn Sullivan Hansen, next younger sister Alice Ava Howard Hansen, youngest sister Cheryl Sinatra Krzyzanowski Hansen. So your dad is molesting, according to your sisters, had sexual contact with your own sisters, and they liked it. Whether they're his natural daughters or not, that doesn't matter. I mean, they're abused. They're abuse victims. Your mother didn't want to be his wife, so you kind of did, and then by proxy you become competition with your own sisters. And I think your father's now kind of hoping that your two sisters aren't his because those are the ones he's abusing. So all types of rationalization and who knows what down this rabbit hole. But the bottom line here is, Anonymous, okay? You're exposing them for taking your money when you should be exposing them for being abusive, neglectful, narcissistic sociopaths who sexually abuse children. I mean, your father's dead now. And he gave you the money back, so I mean, you're saying you're looking at your dad's pant leg. I mean, the whole thing is, you have to realize how dark this is, what you're talking about. It's bad. This is bad. And it is, I mean, it's it's disturbing. I'm not gonna lie, it disturbs me. Because it's just the nonchalance of all of it. Of all of it. And I understand you were a child at the time and all, but I hope you realize at this point how bad this is and how bad this was. And what you should be exposing is the sexual abuse and the neglectfulness of your mother, which you are, and him. You name them. So understand, though, your sisters are victims in this. They're kids. They don't know any better. They're into being sexually abused by their father, or an older man, their father, whoever it is. And what does that say about your mother? She would allow your daughter... She cares so little about her own offspring, she allows them to be sexually abused. And I would love to know what happened to your brother. Just one sentence, gun accident. You should be happy. You should really be happy that you survived the narcissist. It's a miracle you survived the narcissist, to be quite honest with you. So, I hope that helps. Thank you for your contribution and story, Anonymous. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance.